Filming? Okay, we on. So geographically, everything is the matrix. The world you see around you is fake. Everything is pretty much commercial. Excuse my French. Everything in this fucking world that you see today, whether it be on a TV device, whether it be a remote control video game, whether it be a car, everything is electronic. Everything is AI. It used to be CGI, some 2016 shit back in 2016. So everything you see today is a reflection of things you don't see. So what I mean by that, what I really mean by that is everything is pretty much pixel. We see our videos, we see our music, we hear our songs, we hear everything, we look things up on Google. So everything is pretty much through a device, through a software by a solar system or solar panel or Wi-Fi radiator that's connecting the source of internet around the nation, so we can connect like sort of walkie-talkies devices. So outside of these devices, that's where insecurity comes in at, because when you base an image on the internet versus an image in real life, you have to still go to the store to get milk. You still have to go out there and wipe your ass and take a shower and brush your teeth and clean your feet and put on your socks, your underwear, your pants, shirt, bra, etc. Man or woman, both genders. But what I'm getting at is that a nationwide thing that every day you wake up, you have to have a momentum. And it's hard to have a momentum when the world is pretty much running off pixels. So it's not like you're really entertained by a world. Everything's already been filmed. They just post it when it's time to post, when they're not tired, they're not exhausted. So they come up with more and more lies. So everything that you see more is like a reptile identity, sort of like a crocodile or an alligator. You know how they say dragons are dinosaurs? That would be the closest thing you would have to a dynamic of a dinosaur as an alligator or a crocodile or a shark or anything that or wolf, a fox, coyote, whatever you consider alienated than a human being. But back to a human being, your mind is more important than the physical body. The mental is more important than the spiritual body, and the spiritual body is more important than the physical and the mental body, because it's all in one. Your mind is your reality. Your mind is your world. Your mind is actually your life, because what you tell yourself is what you take in. So whatever you take in, whether it be negative or positive, that's how the day reflects. I remember Kevin Hart said, if you stay in a negative mind forever, you will be there forever. It's like a prison. So sometimes I you don't have to physically be isolated in a form of a prison, rather going to jail, prison, or etc., going to an actual system place called prison or jail. But you could be in prison or jail in your mind. I could be whatever I want to be in my room, in my house, but as soon as I walk out that front door, that fairy tale has to go to your pocket, because in real life, you're not going out there playing with people that are playing jokes. Excuse me again. People are fucked up. And by that being said, you have two energies that are colliding, two how do I say, two negative sources, like fire and fire. You're just gonna keep getting fire and fire. If you put water on fire, it's gonna smoke up, but it's gonna at least take out the fire. But you can't have fire and fire and expect someone to bring water when the fire is too high for that bottle, that one cup of water. You know what I'm saying? So my minority of this world today is off pixel. Everything is pretty much digital. It's me, like me. I'm better than her. I'm better than him. But I'm not better than anyone. Really, I'm just another person who picked up a device called a phone and speaking to you through it. That's why they say television. It's telling a vision. A dream is your everything that you take in today is going to be what your sleep is going to be. So if you have a good day, you're gonna have good sleep. You have a bad day, you're gonna have bad sleep, because you're not gonna go to sleep on something negative. That's why we say about regret. Regret is worse than death. Regret is worse than shame. Regret is worse than not fulfilling yourself, because when you need to make a decision, you need to make a decision right then and there. You can't regret that decision. If I use my emotions, I'm never gonna go to a store and fulfill up a cup of water, right? So I have to use my logic, and it's hard in a world that doesn't care about you or me. You know what I'm saying? It's not just me. I'm not speaking like I'm some higher power, no, but we're speaking about people who do have higher power. They're using their power for control, using their power for slavery. This new world has become a pixel slavery. Back in 2016, 10 years ago, everyone was pretty much just figuring out the internet, but now everyone understands that the internet is truly a prison. Stay locked in, stay formed, stay grounded, understand what's real, know that not everyone's your friend, not everyone you call brother or loved one or sister or nanny or dad or pops or not or mother. They're not everyone's not everyone. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone has a mind to think logically, to think on the same time as you. Everything has to be balanced. Everything has to be sort of uh, um a true statement in a sense that it has to be structured. It has to be structured for foundation. You're not going to build a house on sand. You're not gonna walk outside with no jacket on and it's freezing and you think you could beat the cold. See, now that's illusion. Run back in the house, get under that cover and put on a heater, because in reality, we're not animals. We're just humans. See, we can only do so much, and we can only improve and only prove and only really build so much. I can't build a dragon or build a dinosaur. I can't build a reptile human. I can't do that. I cannot build a animal. Man has tried to breed dogs, but man has never created a dog. So when you understand that, you breed dogs to create them, but I never formed, or man has never formed any sea animal, any living thing, any animal that's in the water, anything that's in the sky, anything that's underground. No man or woman has ever formed any sort of species. The only species or form that has form is animals forming animals, but humans are not species. Humans are living beings worth more than what you consider a dollar or a piece of paper. So the dynamic of a human being truly sanctified in a positive world, they would be successful. Human beings are truly magnificent. They're marvelous. You would never catch me ever saying I hate the world, I hate people. No, it's a beautiful place. It's just you have people that don't have foundation, don't have nowhere to work, don't have nothing to build from. So they take, or they murder, or they do the unthinkable. In our minds, it's unforgivable. It's like, how can you? It's unreversible. So that's why we say never do anything 5 minutes ago that's unreversible that the next 10 minutes can't be reversed. Never do anything unreversible. You got to stay connected, because everything you see today, the products, the food, the drinks, the heat, the weather, all of it's pretty much killing you. It makes you sick. It's hot in the day. It's humid in the day, and then at night it's freezing cold. It's they're playing with the weather. They're playing with the solar systems. They're playing with the internet. They're playing with the food, clothes. They're playing with the dynamic of build the dynamic of teaching. They're not the teachers in school aren't really teaching the correct history. Napoleon, that's one sort of history, but let's teach about the true history of what do people do when they go broke? What do people do when they can't fulfill opportunities that when we're brought up on children, that when you're older, we're going to fulfill these dreams, right? We have inspiration and goals, but these goals can't be sellouts. You can't just say, oh, I had a goal, or I was going to do it, but I didn't. I should have, but I couldn't. It's bad because, again, insecurity has destroyed the brain. That anywhere, like going to a coffee shop, imagine me going to a coffee shop, right? And I see a beautiful woman, I walk up and say, hello, how you doing? And she says she's married. I walk away. She says she has a boyfriend. I walk away, correct? But I'm not going to be an asshole and walk in there, and then she says no, and then I cuss her out and despise that woman's day, despise her body image, despise her human card. You know what I'm saying? That was disrespectful. So I'm showing you prosperities. I'm giving you ideas, and I put myself in a horrible outlook of a description so you can see where I'm coming from. That you have to be ready to be alone. Be ready to be told no. Be ready to walk away. But it's no one's fault. It's not the lady's fault that rejected me. It's not my fault for saying that. It's no one's fault. It's life. But that's hard because when you don't have self-control, you don't have a mind that's control enough to self yourself. You got to have the self in its self-control. You got to be able to say, okay, I control myself enough to say, nah, this ain't for me. I'm cool. You got to know your limit. You got to know when to stop. You got to know when to say, it's done. I'm done. I'm done. But it's hard because insecurity, the clock's fake. They set people's brain to be worried about time. So what we have is like so many people rushing to a red light, passing a green light, when there's somebody coming through a yellow light, ready to hit somebody going through a right light, trying to make the left or right to beat a clock that was set by someone else that was getting paid by someone who put an application in to tell people come to work at 8 a.m. So you got someone coming down the street at 7:50, someone at 7:53, someone said all these at the same time to build this conclusion, and then accident, and then everybody wants to whip out firearms, guns, and now they want to fight, now they want to kill, now they want to protest because someone was not using self-control to think, okay, we got to make a lane that makes sense. Okay, this green, this red, this yellow. Okay, green means go, yellow means slow down, red means stop. But we got to have it that people aren't going to listen. They're not going to stop. They're not going to slow down. They're going to keep going because everybody in their light sees a green light. Most people don't see the red light. Most people don't see the yellow light. Most people don't see the yellow warning light. The red light is death. The green light is, okay, this is the safety note. The yellow light, okay, are you sure? And then the red light is, okay, that's you. Done deal. You can only tell somebody so many times. Don't step on the rock. Don't step on that. Don't step on that wood. It's gonna collapse. Don't step on that wood. Then it collapse. And then bro's like, Dan, you didn't tell me. You didn't. I literally just told you. So humans are blamed for trying to save other humans. The new respect is a new disrespect. It seems like when you disrespect someone today, they respect you. But that's an iconic lie because what it's really doing is just building more and more people to hate more and more people, to be more and more mean, more and more and more mean. And then when it's all said and done, nobody got nothing from it but just somebody saying that he was bigger and badder and she was bigger and badder. But at the end of the day, I still got to go home, still got to lay in this bed by myself, still got to talk to myself at night. So I'm not better than anyone, but you can't be stupid. They play your mind like you don't know anything and play with your intelligence. Stay alerted.